All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Blue Ribbon Bash. I think we're ready to get the evening started here. My name is Craig McKee from WCPO 9 on your side, and I'm sure you're all Channel 9 viewers, right? All right. At least you are right now whenever I ask that question, right? All right, tonight I hope you truly enjoy the party with a purpose here, ending the cycle of child abuse. By coming here this evening, you are now part of the conversation to end a horrible cycle of child abuse in our community and even in our country. So, before I get started into the program here, something I always like to do because I'm an Air Force veteran, I like to recognize any veterans or service members that are in the audience. So if we could have any veterans or service members, active duty, National Guard, anything, stand up. Very nice. Thank you so much for your service. Anybody in here a Vietnam-era veteran? Welcome home. All right, so why the color blue for the Blue Ribbon Bash? The blue ribbon is the international symbol for child abuse prevention. Many of you know of the Family Nurturing Center and their Blue Ribbon campaign during the month of April for Child Abuse Prevention Month. But like you, well, we really think every single month of the year should be Child Abuse Prevention Month. I hope you've been enjoying the music. I know I have. Swamp Thing, a round of applause. We want to thank them. Actually, they were here last year, so we really appreciate the fact that they were able to come back this year as well. I hope you've had a chance to enjoy some of the food. I've seen a number of you enjoying everything from the egg rolls to the taco bar and everything out there, so I hope your bellies are full. Anybody have a chance to kind of wander around and see some of the silent auctions out there? Yeah? There are some incredible donated items, and I think that's the most incredible part when you look at all the things that are out there, from baskets of bourbon to the unicorn plush doll, which, where's Jeff Brogan? Where's Jeff Brogan at? He's my GM. There he is. Yeah, he's been bidding on that. He didn't want me to let you know, but he's the one outbidding you. That's right. All right. I hope you've had a few drinks, of course, and are just really enjoying your night. Keep your hands on your phones. It's okay. Listen to the program as we go. Bidding will end at 10:30, but just keep bidding because you're helping the cause by doing so. And you get some great swag and items out of it as well. I do have an announcement that just came in, breaking news, if you will, right before I walked up here. Anybody bidding on the Marco Island package? If you are, you don't have to reveal who you are because I know there's a bidding war here. The owner has graciously stepped in, and this is pretty amazing. So keep bidding, bid often, and bid high, because the top two leaders, when it closes, he's throwing in that extra week. So the top two people will get a week. Instead of just the one person winning 1 week, there'll be two people winning the 1 week. So that is absolutely fantastic. And of course, you know, it's a 1 week stay at a private condo, so that's saying something. That's pretty spectacular. And that is package number. If you haven't bid on it, maybe you're like, you know what? I'd really like to give a good anniversary gift to my wife, my spouse, my friend, me. That package number is 141. 141 if you haven't bid yet or you'd like to go watch it. So it's 141. Also, I need, let's see here, the mystery purse section. A lot of people were surrounding that this year. That was very popular last year. I saw a lot of people eyeing those. And if you have a flashing ring, I know some of you have turned them off, can you turn your flashing ring on and hold it up in the air? Oh, look at all that support. That is awesome. All right. I know you want to win, but unfortunately, there can only be one winner with the flashing ring in the ring game here. At this time, I'm going to announce bidder number 308. Bidder 308. You've just won a $100 gift card from Macy's and a date night at Palo Jewelers. Where are you at, bidder number 308? Bidder 308, where are you? Come on up, sir. I have your gift up here. All right, so again, continue with the cocktails. Feel free to get up whenever you can, but we're going to have some amazing speakers tonight, and we're really going to dive in deep on a subject that is very, very important to try to solve in our community. So I would like to now welcome Jane Herms, the Executive Director for Family Nurturing Center, to the podium for tonight's program presentation.
Welcome to Family Nurturing Center's Blue Ribbon Bash. I'm Jane Herms, Executive Director, and I want to thank you all for being here. This is a party with a purpose, and that purpose is ending the cycle of child abuse. It's what we do every day. It's our reason for being, and it's a lofty goal, and we cannot do it alone. But fortunately, we don't have to. We have each and every one of you here to help, because ending the cycle of child abuse is everyone's responsibility. All proceeds from tonight's event will support the child abuse education, prevention, and treatment programs that we provide in our locations in both Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. Each year, we serve more than 30,000 people through our continuum of quality services. Thank you. We are thrilled that you're joining with us tonight and carrying our work forward in the weeks, days, and years ahead as we deliver services designed to prevent all forms of abuse, protect vulnerable children, and help families heal from the trauma of abuse. To learn more, look no further than the placemats at your table. You'll see information, statistics, testimonials, and calls to action. It's only a glimpse of what we do, how we change lives, and what more is needed. I also want to give a special thanks to those who helped to make tonight possible, our generous sponsors. A special thanks to our presenting sponsor, St. Elizabeth Healthcare, who opened up their incredible training facility to host tonight's bash. This is our first year here. I think it's been a great... Thank you. St. Elizabeth's is one of the oldest, largest, and most respected medical providers in the greater Cincinnati region. Their mission is to provide comprehensive and compassionate care that improves the lives and health of the people that they serve. I also want to recognize our impact sponsor, Face It, whose generous support allowed us to bring you our featured speaker, Kik Lee. With support from COSAIR Charities, Face It directly addresses the unacceptable incidences of child abuse and neglect in Kentucky with the promotion of best practices in child abuse prevention and intervention, engaging the community, and advocating for effective policies to improve the child welfare system. I want to recognize our technology sponsor, 333seat.com, and thank them for their support of our mobile bidding program this evening. 333seat cares about the community, offers incredible array of entertainment, especially for our children and families. We also want to say thank you to Prestige, AV, and Creative Services for partnering with Family Nurturing Center again as our gold sponsor and providing the wonderful lighting and sound needs this evening. Did everybody charge their phone out at the charging station so that you're ready to bid? That was also through Prestige. Our silver level sponsors include Greater Cincinnati Foundation, RDI Corp., Airport Paint and Body, Bethesda Inc. and BI3, Central Bank, Chris Pieper with Merrill Lynch, the Christ Hospital, the EW Scripps Company, TriHealth, USI, and WCPO. You can clap. Yeah. There are additional sponsors at the bronze level, and I invite you to look through your program booklet so you can recognize and patronize these community-minded businesses that, like you, care about kids. Now, I want to give a shout out to all the behind-the-scenes people who make this magic look easy. Special thanks to Tracy Klink, who is the woman behind the curtain. Tracy. This is Tracy's 11th bash. flash, and I think that she has outdone herself this year. It really shows. I also want to recognize Hannah Barker, Autumn Caldwell, Jordan Cook, Paul Miller, and all of the volunteers and staff who made this event possible. If you are a board member, staff member, event volunteer, please stand. These are the people that carry our mission in their hearts and in their acts every single day. Thank you. I am especially grateful to our board members and co-chairs, Beth Welter and Dave Peterson, both of the E.W. Scripps Company. Thank you. For their vision, leadership, and hard work. They set a record-breaking goal this year, not just because they wanted to beat last year's goal, not just because they're a little competitive, but also because they mean that more support means more children and families are served. Dave and Beth, please come forward and be recognized. In a little while, you'll hear from Kik Lee. I won't provide any spoilers because he'll share his own story. From a painful past to an inspiring present and an unlimited future. People always ask me why we have to have speakers at these events that share such tragic pasts. Our purpose is not to shock you, even though some of his stories may be shocking. It's not to make you cry, even though you might. And it is certainly not to exploit other people's pain. If you've been here before, you've heard this before, but for the new folks in the room, and even for you seasoned advocates, it's worth repeating. We share these stories, these real-life experiences of real people, because child abuse thrives on a culture of silence. Perpetrators count on us being too uncomfortable to talk about it. And then as a result, we protect them and continue the cycle. We tell these stories because to change the conversation, we have to start the conversation. And once you know the statistics, the experience, the impact, and the opportunity to help, you can't unknow it. Tonight is just the beginning. Be sure to continue that conversation at home with your family, with your friends and colleagues, in your schools, your houses of worship, and with us about how you can be part of the solution. And now for the star of our evening, I want to tell you a little bit about our honoree, Ellen Katz. Each year, Family Nurturing Center recognizes someone for their commitment and their action to support children and families in our community. I have to say, we have a lot of choices in this region. We're really blessed to have so many people who care about our community and show it through volunteerism, philanthropy, vision, and leadership. But one name really rose to the top to our selection committee this year, and that was Ellen Katz. Ellen's bio is impressive, and you can read that in your program. She's led the Greater Cincinnati Foundation for 4.5 years, served for more than 2 decades at the Children's Home of Cincinnati, and serves on countless committees and boards across the region, providing leadership that make Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati a great place for children and families. But Ellen's impact really can't be summed up in a few paragraphs. Don't take it from me. Listen to some of these comments from people who know her work firsthand. Chris Pfister, Greater Cincinnati Board Chair, had this to say about Ellen. Ellen's visionary and steady leadership is a huge asset to our community. We need strong leadership to challenge us and also to lead us in celebration of our success. Ellen encourages community collaborations that ensure that everyone has a seat at the table so that outcomes are equitable, inclusive, and results-driven. Under Ellen's guidance, GCF has amplified its commitment to racial equity and economic inclusion, which are essential building blocks to strengthening our regions so that everyone can thrive. Ellen's dedication to children and families encompasses her entire career, from her 25-plus years at the Children's Home of Cincinnati to her 4 years at Greater Cincinnati Foundation. She understands that strong, supported families are the key to vitality in the 8-county region that we all call home. We are so very fortunate to have her energy and dedication. Jim Schwab, former CEO of Interact for Health, reminisced about his time with Ellen when he served on the Children's Home Board while Ellen was CEO. I was privileged to serve on the board of the Children's Home of Cincinnati when Ellen was our CEO. Ellen was creative and thoughtful, who was willing to tackle new ventures while keeping a watchful eye on the resources available to her and the organization she served. Moira Weir, Director of Hamilton County Job and Family Services. For those of you who don't know, that's our child protective child welfare system in Hamilton County, gave this ringing endorsement of Ellen's impact. Ellen's commitment to the children and families of this community goes beyond any 9-to-5 job. I have worked with her for more than 20 years. Her passion for helping burns 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. She daily challenges us, all of us, in this field and in this community to do better for our most vulnerable. Greater Cincinnati is a stronger, better place to live because of her lifetime of work advocating for children and families. Laura Mangy, Senior Philanthropic Advisor of Greater Cincinnati Foundation, gave a staff's perspective to working with Ellen. Ellen's leadership has been transformational on our team and on our work. She has a bold vision of GCF from the beginning, and we've really come together around it. We're proud to be working in the direction we are toward a more equitable region. Jill Miller, President and CEO of Bethesda Inc. and BI3, may have put it best. Ellen is a force in our community, fueling collaboration and empowering those around her. She is a change agent, not afraid to challenge the status quo. She is a visionary, working toward that day when every person in our community has equal opportunity to achieve their highest level of health and well-being. She is changing hearts and lives, mine included. Please join me in thanking Ellen Katz for being a champion for children, a challenger of the status quo, a change agent, and a true leader in our community. For these reasons, and for so many more, we are proud to honor her this evening. Ellen, please come forward.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really kind. I have to admit, I dropped the sriracha sauce in the ranch dressing, so I don't know what I would do with that. That's incredible. Jane, thank you so much. The Family Nurturing Center has been kind of a colleague organization of mine for maybe 30 years, so congratulations to all of you who staff the Family Nurturing Center, who support it through your board leadership. Thank you for doing that. And to all of you for being here to take care of kids and families. It's so important. And when I came to Cincinnati about 30 years ago, I really wanted to just dig in on something that meant so much to me, and it was really taking care of vulnerable kids. So I came to the Children's Home, and I have to admit, for 25 years, I loved every single day of my job. And it was hard. The circumstances of the kids and families were really challenging. And there's one story that I wanted to share with you because I think it really encapsulates what it meant to me to work with these kids and families and to do what I do now. So it was probably 15 years ago or so, and it was a day of just driving rain. And I was pulling into the back entrance of the children's home as I had done every day for so many years. And the Metro bus, which had a stop kind of close to the back of our property, stopped right at the back entrance of the children's home. And I knew that that wasn't where the bus stopped, but it did. And the bus driver got out, and so did a little boy with a backpack who looked to me to be like maybe in 3rd grade. And the little boy just made a beeline across our campus. And the bus driver got out as I was pulling into the driveway and literally stopped me. And I pulled my window down. And the bus driver said, "Do you work here?" And I said, "I do." And she said, "Well, someone needs to let this little boy know that he can't ride the bus by himself." And I said, "I'll take care of it." So it turns out that this little boy who was 8 had woken up on the west side of town all by himself. His mother at the time was not home, but he got himself dressed and he put on his backpack and he got on the bus and he went to Government Square and changed buses and made his way all the way to the children's home. And when he got there, he got out of the bus and somehow he convinced the bus driver to let him out. And he made a beeline straight to the kitchen at the children's home. And this little boy demonstrated resilience beyond anything I could even imagine for even my own children at the time, who would not have had the capacity to get on a metro, let alone get themselves up and dressed and put on a backpack and find their way to where they needed to be at 8 years old. And it was just so striking for me of what these kids can do, these amazingly resilient kids who grow up in very neglected homes. And I know that everyone from the Family Nurturing Center understands it so completely, that these kids have so much potential and so much promise. And when I had the opportunity to come to GCF, I thought this is the opportunity to actually transform the community that's raising these children. So every single day, that's what drives me now. It's not the kids and the families each on an individual level. It's taking this amazing community of caregivers and bus drivers and parents and children and professionals and bringing us all to a place where we are so much better together and a much stronger community for our kids and families. And I'm really, really honored to work with the amazing team at the Greater Cincinnati Foundation and our board members and everyone who joins us. I love all of you, and I really appreciate your being here. And I appreciate all of your being here for kids and families. It's extraordinary work that we all do collectively, and please don't stop. Thanks for the honor.
Thank you so much, Helen, for your passion for this community and for kids, and we can get you some help to carry that out so you don't drop it. I would like to now introduce Shannon Moody with Face It and Kosair Charities, who is our 2019 Blue Ribbon Bash Impact sponsor. Come on up.
Good evening. Ellen's story kind of got to me a little bit, but it's great to see a room full of folks who are so interested in figuring out how to put an end to child abuse. And my role at the Face It movement to end child abuse, which was developed by Kosair Charities, is to kind of coordinate and usher the movement. And I get to work with folks like Jane and her team to do that on a statewide level. So Kosair Charities took kind of a bold step back in 2013 to develop a coalition around child abuse prevention. And initially they had started in Louisville and started to look at all of these other factors and figure out, like, we need to create a bigger, broader network. So that is my role. I help to usher that and work with a ton of amazing people and organizations like Family Nurturing Center, and I just really appreciate the opportunity to be here. So on behalf of Face It and Coaster Charities, it's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Kik Lee. And Kik Lee is a music producer. He's a motivational speaker, a Cincinnati native, and an advocate of the arts. And he is also a graduate of Full Sail University and the Elements Hip Hop Youth Arts Center, and has a background in music production. So he's been working in the music industry for over 13 years and has licensed musical content for mainstream networks like MTV, VH1, BET, Fox, and many others. He is also a grantee of People's Liberty and the founder of Cincinnati Music Accelerator, whose mission is to create entrepreneurs through the art of music, teaching the business, thus putting the end to the starving artist. Kik wasn't always as connected as he is now. He went through the foster care system in Hamilton County as a child and felt alienated from his family, other kids, and his culture. And he has since used his musical talent to draw in friends and ultimately create a community around his art. So again, it is my honor to present Kik Lee.
Hello, everyone. These things are always exciting, but at the same time, hard. Just like how all of you are looking at me right now, very hard. The reason I say that is because I'm an advocate for child abuse. I always am very nervous about, will I say the right thing? You know, will I mess up? Will I screw up? Will I forget something? And what did I forget to say? But somehow, I just say what's on my mind. Visiting the Family Nurturing Center was actually outstanding. I'm gonna tell you why, and I'll lead to my story. I never knew it existed. Never met anyone that could tell me a little bit about it, never knew anyone that said, hey man, you know, you might want to check this place out. They kind of relate to your story and who you are. I just never knew about it. So they invited me to come, you know, check the place out. And man, was I astonished to see what you all are doing is incredible. To see how hard you are fighting and working, that is incredible. To see that you, give a damn, that is outstanding. Now, my story begins at the age of 5. My mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Now, for many of you who don't know that, that really is a bad combination. It's extremely bad. A lot of people can't think. They can't really process stuff. You know, they create their own narrative to different things without really trying to think it through. They just act on it on impulse, but not always in the best way. My day, I was taken away. I remember it, just like I'm standing here right now looking at all of you. I remember it, and I'll always remember it. Because I was at what I remember the first location of JFS, Jobs and Family Services. And I got there because the school I was at, some of the teachers were very concerned about some things. And what that was, I never knew. I was upset, and my mother didn't really discipline me correctly. You know, she didn't really know how. She was a very sweet and loving woman. And literally, I would try to run out and bolt through the door, and the teacher literally would just stand there just like this, trying not to let me out. And I mean, I didn't know any better. I would try to move her. Heck, I picked up a chair and tried to break the glass that was attached to the door. That's how much I wanted out. I wanted my mom. You couldn't tell me anything. But that alarmed them. I actually had that behavior over time, and they noticed that. So I ended up going to Jobs and Family Services. And, you know, I met some wonderful people, and they were sitting there, and they were kind of talking to me, and I was playing with this little marble thing. So you put the marble in, and it just spirals down. So I was building it and just really trying to build some momentum out of it, and I was enjoying it. And then I see the door, and my mother comes in, and her mom, my grandmother. But something wasn't right. I said, hi, Mom, and they were like, you know, we'll be right back. I said, okay, cool. Pretty much, long story long on that one, my mom and my grandmother come out in the worst just demeanor. My mom's crying out. My grandmother, she's not crying, but you can tell she's trying to be strong. And that was the day I found out I would not be living with my mother anymore. I was like, what? Couldn't tell me that, but it was true. I got placed into foster care. My first home was a great home. I enjoyed it. My second home was a bad home. I got abused. Oh, and it was a bad one. But it wasn't just me. I didn't go through it alone. I had foster siblings. Something that probably a lot of you wouldn't even think is possible. We actually got locked in a freezer, a walk-in freezer that was in the basement of the home. One of my foster siblings did something, like he was late. And when one gets in trouble, we all get punished. And we got placed in there. Now, from what I do remember of that whole scenario and that situation, there's a little old lady across the street who just did not like us. She would always say we were in her yard and that we were leaving toys and all this crap. Definitely wasn't us. We didn't want to be near that. We didn't want to be near that. But she noticed that we weren't outside. She noticed that something was amiss. So I remember her hearing that she had made calls trying to figure out if we were okay and whatnot. The family said that we were off on a trip with some family members. Of course, that's not true at all. And they did a welfare check and, you know, said, we were off. We sent them off. And they's like, okay. Again, kind of put it off. But the lady was very adamant about finding out where are we. Because, again, those items that were there weren't there anymore. So that concerned her. Finally, someone actually listened to this little old lady, and they said, we need to see these kids or we're not leaving. I remember being in this freezer. We kept warm by actually huddling up together. It's like 4 of us, 5 technically, if you include myself. Huddled up together, trying to survive in some form or fashion. I don't even know how long we were in there, but we were in there. And then one day, I hear the banging. We hear the banging. We're all like, okay, someone's, you know, they're about to come and do something to us. I hear the police yell, hello, is everyone okay? Is anyone in there first? Is everyone okay? And again, we're young. We don't know if this what this is. Finally, the door opens. Now, the nurturing, some of the employees in here from my last time when I paid my visit, are any of you in here? If not, hey, how are you? Remember that light? That's actually the light. When the door opened, that was the light. That was the first sight of the light. Man, that emotion of just that door opening and people being there that actually said they cared. They were really there for us. They took us out. They had blankets. They were holding on to us, really trying to make sure we were okay. We were saved. Now, where that family is, that husband and wife, I don't know. But this was in Florida. Shockingly enough, I saw them, I want to say 2 years ago, walking through Fountain Square. Now, you would probably have a lot of things running through your head as an adult, like, oh, you're that family. Mine was different. I had no bitterness towards them. I had no hate. I didn't feel anything but just sorrow. And just to actually know that they're okay. They seemed like they were pretty good. They were happy. I don't know what the situation was, but they seemed okay. I didn't say anything to them. I just let them go. First, I'm thinking like, why are they in Cincinnati? How'd you get here? Now, I went to several different other homes. Their abuse was different. Many of them were very mental. They would do things that would make us think things. They would pin us against each siblings, foster siblings. There were others that were extremely verbal. I mean, verbal to where you might as well just hit me. It was that bad. Some of them just combined it all together. Now, there is one thing that I realized I never mentioned publicly. I always said that my mom, which is still true to this day, and it is true, she was schizophrenic and bipolar. She is. She's still there to this day. A lot better, but still is. Something that I pushed to the side was realizing that she actually did abuse me. Physically. The thing that the teachers noticed was I would come to school on certain days and I would have nail scars in my neck. I forgot about that. I had been trying to remain so positive and outgoing, just happy and think highly of my mom. I forgot about that. Why? How? But I did. I found a way to think about it because I was so, again, nervous of trying to figure out, will I tell you the right things? Would I say the right things? Because this job it's not easy. To advocate for people that are being abused, children and adults, that's not easy. But somebody's got to do it, and I'm okay with doing that. Ellen, what you do is amazing. How you've done it is outstanding. But the way you do it is distinctive and unique. Thank you for that. Every time throughout my life I meet someone, I got to say thank you. I have to. It's not easy for people to adopt. It's not easy for people to foster, especially now. It's not easy to take care of these kids who've just been abused. They get in your home, you feel like, great, we've got a new situation, this is gonna be great, it's gonna take them shopping, we're gonna doll them all up, but it's not that easy. Especially when they've definitely been abused. I want you all to be an advocate. I want you all to know that you are making a difference. You made a difference the moment you walked in this door. The moment you sat down, the moment you looked at me, you made a difference. But you can truly make an even bigger difference. Now, I know people say, oh, give me your money, we need this. That's not what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to invest in change. I'm going to ask you to invest in a future. I wish I had this organization growing up. At some point, I wish my mom had help. I just wish a lot of people had this service because it is incredible. The moment I walked in that door, I saw that wall, I met the staff, I saw just the way the programming and everything set up. I'm sitting there like, man, if I had that, I probably would have been here versus there. If I had this, I probably would have been able to do that. Had I had these people as my mentors of some sort, just calling and checking on my mom, my grandmother, my relatives, just saying, hey, how are you all doing? Have you checked in on him? Is he doing okay? You know, are you bonding? Are you getting together? You know, some coaching. The coaching, oh my God, that coaching that you have, that's key. To be able to help a parent who's been struggling learn how to interact with their children, and not just the children, the mother or the father, because sometimes there's a rift there, and the child sees that. Whether you know it or not, that's abuse in itself. Help give context so people don't create their own narrative of a situation. Be there for them. Be there for yourselves and be there for each other. Now, I have one last favor, and you're already kind of doing it. Because right this second, as I'm speaking here, walking back and forth, you're looking at me, someone is actually being abused. I know this for a fact. I've watched TV shows about this stuff, documentaries about this stuff, and literally, one of my foster siblings will be getting their butt whooped. Every second of every day, someone is suffering in this area. So, for one quick moment, just remain silent. Thank you. Now, can everyone inhale for me? And exhale. Man, that felt good. Whew. Now, my final call to action. There's a bucket in the middle of your table. I'm sure, I don't know if anyone's read yet what it is. There's a little tin bucket, not the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz, but it's a tin bucket. Now, there is this little water droplet that should be in the middle of your table. This is my call to action, and this actually will help. I want all of you to write a message, a positive message. Say something that will encourage the person it's going to go to. Envision, just take a moment and envision before you even write. Envision, who would you want this to go to? Who would you want to see this? Who? Whether it's a kid, whether it's an adult, who would you want to write it to? And write a quick message, encouraging them that they're not alone, that you in some way are with them, that you and your family in some way are with them, friends, you're with them. But I got another one on top of this. I know I said that probably a million times. If you're on social media, I want you to type that message out. Tag me in it, and I will share that to my network. I have 21,000 followers on Twitter. Hashtag Blue Ribbon Bash, and I will retweet it. I will go look for it, and I will retweet that. And my audience will see that. I want you to tag me on Facebook, Kick Lee. Look for the guy with the selfie, though. There's another one, but look for the dude with the selfie. My Facebook is public. If I don't want you to know, I ain't sharing it. Everything's public. Tag me in it. And I will repost that, and my audience will see that. And that is the start of how we together as a community can help our community, because everyone will see that. I got close to, 5,000 friends? Oh, yeah, they're going to see it all right. I mean, look at me now. I started an organization off a dream, an idea, because of music. Music was my connection. Music was my way of bonding with people. I said, hey, I make beats. People are like, oh, my God, I rap. Oh, my God, I sing. I play the cello. Whoa, that's my conversation starter. That's how I would interact with people. CMA is dear to me because it is my way of promoting my struggles, because the musicians struggle too. A lot of the people that get abused do music. That's their way of communicating. Sometimes you should take a moment and listen to that, whether it's lyrical or just sound. Listen to that. So again, fill out the drop. Please post it on social media, and definitely, please make sure you tag me, because I want to share it. I want to keep speaking about this, and I want to continue to work to end the cycle of child abuse. Thank you all. Thank you.
Kick, thank you. Thank you for being an advocate and sharing your story and your journey. And please, do what he said. Fill out the drops. Let's spread the word of what happened here tonight and what is happening here tonight. And then next year, more people will know about it. And if we keep spreading the word, we can continue to make this event grow as it has year after year. And maybe they'll invite me back again next year, and we'll just continue that part of it. You know, the Blue Ribbon Bash, it's a party. We know that. I mean, there's tons of liquor here. There's tons of fun. There's food. Smiling faces. When I look out, most of you are smiling. Jeff Brogan is still smiling. I think he just won up to whoever was on the unicorn. I know he's going to pay me back at work. I just know it. But we are ultimately here, of course, to end the cycle of abuse. And you guys are going to make that happen tonight. Now, like me, I know that you want to protect children from all forms of abuse and neglect. And looking around right now, let's say, look to your left, look to your right. Look at the person sitting next to you. Can you tell if that person was raised in an abusive home as a child? This is not a one slice of our society problem. In fact, I'm going to tell you a quick story here. It won't take long. About a young boy who was 6 years old. He lived in a single-parent home. He loved to be outdoors, ride his bike. He was creative, loved to draw and paint. He loved Garfield. He played soccer and had fun. When practice or the game came to an end, he and his teammates would just dogpile the coach and smile and giggle until they were finally hauled off the field and taken home. A huge fan of Rocky Road ice cream and Kit Kats, he enjoyed being a kid. And just like the other kids his age, where he was learning his boundaries, of course, in life and how the world really worked, he would sometimes find himself in trouble. Maybe one day his bed wasn't made, or the floor of his room looked like a tornado had actually pulled every single toy he owned out and just spilled it all over the carpet. His light bright was taken away because the pegs were everywhere. How many people remember what a light bright is? Okay. Even perhaps his bike wasn't picked up from the driveway, or that set of chores laid out for the day just weren't done in time. Now, there were groundings, privileges taken away for a day or two so he could learn his lesson, but that wasn't always the punishment. From the age of 6 until 11, he was also hit, beaten with a belt repeatedly, asked to pick his own switch to get whipped, and even threatened with a bullwhip if the vegetables weren't eaten at dinner time. Those more severe punishments were usually tied to a day or night of the adult's drinking and drug use. As the boy got older, he also got stronger. I can recall the very moment my mom could no longer outmuscle me and hit me. At that point, I gained the power to control my future and seize the opportunity. To be honest with you, inside my grandparents' house at the time in the bathroom, at this very moment, I can remember that moment that I stopped her arm. I smiled and I laughed at her and I said, "You will not touch me ever again." I don't know where the strength came from the inside, but from that day forward, she never laid another hand on me. I told school officials about it, the drug use, the abuse. I got into more trouble for doing that. So I stayed silent. Fortunately, the abuse did stop. Now, I consider myself one of the lucky ones here. I survived my childhood, but a lot of kids don't. After high school, I escaped into the United States Air Force, where I gained my education, traveled, I grew up, and I also met my wife of more than 22 years. I swore as a child I would never treat my kids the way I was treated, and that I would be a much greater parent to my children and never to resort to physical attacks. I also consider myself very lucky in the sense that I may have experienced physical abuse, but I never experienced sexual abuse. And I know just hearing the words child sexual abuse, you see it in the news media and headlines, it can make you feel a little uncomfortable. You know, it's something nobody wants to think about, of course, happening in your community, your neighborhood, perhaps even one of your own homes. But it is happening in the greater Cincinnati area, in every neighborhood, and maybe in some of your own homes. The statistic, they are staggering. And 1 in 10 children will be sexually abused before they reach the age of 18. Think about that. More than 65,000 calls come in each year to 241 Kids to report suspicions of abuse and neglect. And there are 42 million survivors right now of sexual abuse in our country. This is unacceptable. And Kentucky is the worst in America at protecting its children. That's not idle talk. It's not my opinion. It's data. The U.S. Department for Health and Human Services gave Kentucky this distinction in its most recent report. The rate of child abuse and neglect in Kentucky is the worst, in fact, in the country. And right behind us, sadly, our neighbor next door, Indiana, number 2. Folks, we can do better. By coming here this evening, you've started that conversation. If this is your first year, you're joining the conversation. If this is your second, third, fourth year, you are a part of the ongoing conversation in our community. And now Family Nurturing Center is asking you to help them change this conversation. And of course, we get to that part of the night, the financial support. So what I would like you to do is dust off your bidder numbers. You've had them throughout the night. Hopefully you won a prize or two out, with the balloons. But I want you to get your bidder number out as we start the bidding. And I'm going to go off script. Don't feel bad if you can't reach this number. But I know there are a lot of corporations involved here. There are a lot of different people here from a wide variety of disciplines and connections. Anybody at the $10,000 mark? $10,000. I know it's hefty. I know it's a lot. Maybe you can have a little discussion at your table. Maybe you all pair up together. No 10,000. That's okay. That's okay. Holler out, though. Okay. How about $5,000? $5,000. Anybody at the $5,000 mark? You can make such a difference with the resources at the Family Nurturing Center. Anyone at the $5,000 mark? We have balloons. Those are not normal balloons. These are $5,000 and $2,500 balloons. The helium is primo. We have a helium shortage in this world, and you get a balloon full of it. Okay, that's fine. Let's start here. $2,500. Do I have anybody at the $2,500 mark? If we can have the lights come up too so I can see bidder numbers. $2,500. We have 133. Bidder number 451 at the $2,500 mark. Look at that. Look at those balloons they get. Just $2,500. We have another bidder card over here at $2,500. That's bidder number 308. 308, you got a balloon. $2,500. Now, $2,500, you can help a family of 4 complete a 16-week cycle of evidence-based therapy proven to reduce risk of further abuse and promote healing. So thank you, each one of you, for $2,500. You can also send a family through our Nurturing Parenting class where they will learn new skills and improve overall family functioning. You can help 2 children complete a trauma narrative that is essential to their healing. You can pay for 2 facilitators to lead 10 to 12 adult survivors of child sexual abuse through a therapeutic group counseling process to help them recover from the pain of the past abuse. You can make a difference. $2,500. I'm not a tax guy, but I'm pretty sure that's tax deductible. Who's a CPA? No. Oh, actual bidder. Okay. 261? Great, thank you very much. $2,500. $2,500. And if anybody is a CPA and you would like to give some advice on that, because again, don't follow my advice on that. $2,500, last call. Thank you so much. Going to the $1,000 mark. $1,000. This is a little easier for you. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, there we go. Bidder number 153, $1,000. Bidder number 271, $1,000. Bidder number 226 at $1,000. This side of the room's beating you guys over here. Come on. $1,000. Bidder number 147, 147. Bidder number 147. All right, bidder number 142 at $1,000. Bidder number 207. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Give that man a balloon. $1,000 mark, $1,000. Now, $1,000, you can teach over 200 children ways to recognize, resist, and report child abuse through our Kids on the Block program. That is so key to teaching kids to recognize the situation they're in. $1,000. Provide 10 weeks of counseling to a child who has experienced trauma and abuse. You can even buy computers to improve efficiency and allow staff to spend more time with the children and the families who truly need them. Ultimately here, $1,000, you can change lives. All right, here we go. Bidder number 187. 187 for $1,000. Thank you. I think my eyes are a little older than last year. I can't see that far. $1,000 mark. 1,000. Going once. We still have some pretty balloons. 1,000. All right, going to move on here. $500 mark. $500. Here we go. Bidder number 190. Bidder 146. 206. 294. 100. 101. 305. 276. 272. 268. 139. Had a squint on that one. 139 was the last one. Oh, we got one over here. 150. 150. Thank you so much, ma'am. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. You too get balloons. See, we have balloons for everyone. We have a 293 here. 189. 189. All right. Thank you very much for that. Listen to that. A round of applause. Come on. Oh, we have another one. At the $500 mark, what number? 322. 322. Thank you for the assistance, too. Give that man a balloon, too. 322. $500 mark. All right. Was I at the... All right, we're looking good. We still have a little gap to fill here, though. All right, now going to the $250 level, correct? All right, 250. Here we go. 127, 197, 285, 141, 264. Thank you, sir. 317. Thank you, sir. 198, no, wait, 148. Really, I need new contacts. 148, 200, 216, 210, 209, 265, 144, 267. Sorry, ma'am. Anybody else? The 250 mark, here we go. 258, 268. 260. Sorry, not 268, 260. Who has 268 if they would like to go at the 250 mark? I'm just saying. We can. Anybody else at the 250 mark? 250, here we go. Number 312, bidder number 290. Back in the corner, thank you, sir. $250. $250. With $250, just to give you an idea on your investment that you just made, you can train a group of adults in our Stewards of Children program and empower them to better protect children. You can purchase therapeutic games and tools to help children recover from the trauma of abuse, purchase coloring books to give to elementary school-aged children to reinforce child abuse prevention concepts, and again, change lives. And that is what tonight is all about. That was the $250 mark, $250 going once. 250 going twice. Anybody for 10,000? I just had to check. I had to check. All right, going for the $100 mark. This is gonna get a little busy, I think, in here. I hope. $100 mark. Who do we have? Bidder number 170, 167, 244, 169, 111, 170. 102, 137, 138. I already said your number, you're good. I don't want to double charge you. Well, okay, we can double charge you, that's all right. Okay, we can get her a balloon. Bidder number 168. Bidder card 333, 228, 198, 195, 277, 172, 173, 174, 339, 140. At the $100 mark, 278. Bidder number 296, 201, 295, 212, 215, 149, 188. Thank you very much. 143, 145, 193. Thank you, sir. 191. Thank you, sir. 194, ma'am. Thank you. 134, 136, 238, 233, 234. At the $100 mark, 121, 283. At the $100 mark, 269. Am I going too fast? You guys good? Okay. $100 mark. Here we go. Number 284. Thank you, sir. Get that man a balloon. The $100 mark. That is amazing. A round of applause for the $100 mark, huh? All right, something that I did last year, and I'm going to do it again this year just because, why not? So, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your bidder card up in the air, the program, and I know you want to hold on to the program because there's so much vital information about some of the major sponsors here tonight, and we want you to experience those sponsors. But what I want you to do is grab the back of your program where your bidder number is, and I want you to rip it off, hold it up in the air for a $50 donation. $50 donation, the back of your card, hold it up in the air. We're going to come around and grab them from you for a $50 donation. Ready, go. Ready, go. Rip them off. I want to hear some paper ripping. Come on. There we go. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll help grab them. $50 donation. $50 donation. Thank you, sir. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. $50. That's all it's going to cost you for the back of your program. And we may go bid on some things as well for you, but don't worry about that. $50. Look at that. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Whoop. Thank you. $50 donations coming in. Thank you very much. Anybody else at just the $50 mark? $50. You know, last year when we did this, everyone was so amazing. We beat our goal last year. They set a threshold and we beat it. I was going to walk those up there for you. You want me to walk them up there for you? Okay. So obviously we hope this year the threshold, the challenge that the board put together, we want to be able to beat that. Where's our temporary number sitting right now?
We're close to 34.
Just from this? We haven't added the 50s in. Those are still coming in. But we are almost at that $34,000 range just from this paddle raise right now. Round of applause for you. All right. That was absolutely amazing. Now, I know there are some in this room who want very much to change this conversation about child abuse, but more in a private manner. Simply done, you can pull out your phone and you can hit the donation button on your mobile auction bidding right now, and no one else has to know. So if you do have a larger sum, a smaller sum, $10, $20, whatever you can afford, use that mobile app and you can make that donation. And if you look around, you can see all the balloons in here. We did a pretty good job. If you want a balloon and you bid and we didn't get a balloon to you, we're going to get a balloon. All right, some housekeeping notes here. The silent auction will close at 10:30. So you're still going to be getting alerts that you've been outbid. So just hop back on and rebid. Those will close down at 10:30 and a countdown clock will begin on the screen. The party, though, the party still continues until 11 o'clock. We're just after 10 o'clock now. So the party's going to continue to 11. The bar is going to open back up. Once the auction closes, though, if you are a winner and receive a notice on your phone, select the payment option. Once paid, you will receive a paid tag on your phone, and you can pick up your package by showing your paid status to a volunteer stationed at all the auction tables and to collect your winnings before you leave. No need to rush to the door, though. The band is going to continue playing. And on behalf of the Family Nurturing Center, thank you so much for coming out tonight to the Blue Ribbon Bash. We will see you next year.